Strange traits every child of narcissistic parents develops. Kids raised by narcissistic parents often grow up with some surprisingly odd traits. These traits don't always make sense on the surface, and a lot of people never talk about them. Even into adulthood, they can feel off somehow. They laugh in serious moments. They feel bad when things go well for them. And without realizing it, they sometimes ruin their own peace. In this video, we're diving into 7 of the strangest traits that nearly every child of narcissists carries, and how most don't fully understand them until years later. One of them, especially toward the end, might just explain why you keep ending up with the wrong people. Let's get started. 1. They over-explain everything. Saying no doesn't feel safe. These are the people who'll send a whole essay when a simple sentence would do, not because they love to talk, but because growing up, explaining was survival. They were trained to justify, defend, and apologize for everything. Now, as adults, they still feel the need to make everything make sense, even when no one's asking. 2. They constantly read the room. Every single time. They pick up on tone shifts, expressions, the slightest changes in body language. It's not about empathy. It's about survival mode. They sense tension before anyone says a word and immediately shift to avoid conflict. It's not about pleasing people. It's self-protection baked into their nervous system. 3. They're uncomfortable with kindness. When someone does something nice, they don't relax. They freeze. Instead of feeling grateful, they feel guarded. Because in their childhood, love came with strings attached. A compliment meant a setup. A favor meant they'd owe something. So as adults, genuine kindness triggers suspicion, not comfort. They're always performing, even when no one's around. Sure, perfectionism might get praised, but for them, it's something deeper. They can't fully relax into mess, into mistakes, into being human. They plan out conversations in their heads. They rewrite texts over and over. They adjust their voice, their energy, their words, depending on who's in the room. Not to impress, to protect themselves. Because when they were kids, being real, being themselves, usually came at a cost. If you're reading this and silently nodding, drop the word same in the comments. You are not the only one. 5. They apologize for existing. They say sorry when they bump into furniture. They say sorry for talking too much. They say sorry just for being there. It's not politeness, it's programming. They were taught, directly or not, that their needs were too much. Their emotions were inconvenient, and their presence was something others had to tolerate. 6. They're attracted to emotionally unavailable people. Here's where it gets almost predictable. What feels like chemistry is usually just something familiar. That cold, distant partner, that feels like home. Not because it's love, but because it mirrors the inconsistent, conditional love they grew up with. And deep down, part of them still hopes that this time, they'll finally earn the love they were always denied. 7. They're afraid of becoming narcissists themselves. This one cuts deep. They live with this quiet fear. What if I turn into the very person who hurt me? So they overcompensate. They shrink their wins, avoid praise, give too much. Because even a hint of self-confidence feels like dangerous territory, like it could tip into selfishness. But here's the truth. The fact that they worry about being narcissistic, that worry alone proves they're not. If you saw yourself in more than one of these traits, That doesn't make you broken. It means you survived. You didn't become weird. You adapted to a weird environment. What happens next? That part's up to you.